Hi, my name is Brandy Jalbert, and this presentation is about the book entitled How Full is Your Bucket by Tom Rath and Don Clifton. Tom Rath is an author who has written 10 books with the main goal of enhancing the lives and well-being of others. He's written multiple bestsellers, including 2 children's books. He worked at Gallup for 13 years, where he led a worldwide committee with a focus of employee engagement, well-being, and organizational strengths. Don Clifton is not only Tom Rath's grandfather, but also considered the father of strength psychology. Don Clifton's main goal was to study what was right with people, focus on the positive, and stop trying to find out what was wrong with people. Don was a pilot who fought in World War II and won a Distinguished Flying Cross for heroism. After the war, he vowed to do better for mankind, and he developed the Clifton Strengths Finder, who has helped people find their talents and expand their potential all over the world. The purpose of the book is to empower you to find the positive in people and in yourself. It is to look within to see if those around you, your environment, and you yourself are actively contributing to your life in a positive way. It makes you think about whether your bucket is full or is it continuously being emptied. The book aims to better its reader by positively contributing to others instead of being negative and focusing on things they do wrong. Are you making others feel good, or are you always telling them what they're doing wrong? It explains how to focus on things that others do right. It really makes you look within yourself and ask yourself the question, are you living your best life by filling the buckets of others while consistently filling your own? Who is the book for? The book is written for everyone. There's not one person who would not benefit from more positively in their life. It was written for managers, for leaders, for married couples, for the brand new employee, for college students, for young adults starting their new careers. Every person that's in this world could benefit from this book in order to make the world a better place. The strengths of the book include lots of examples, both positive and negative, that are life-changing. One of the strengths of the books include multiple examples of both, including the opening scene that Tom Rath and Don Clifton talk about, where prisoners of war who were captured, those American prisoners of war captured by North Koreans, who were not abused, not killed by North Koreans. They were not harmed in any way, but they were only shown negative psyche, only shown negative comments, only shown negative things, made them feel like they were worthless, made them feel like they let their country down, their families down. And by doing this, they just gave up. Negativity has such an effect on your health, your well-being, your psyche, your mental health, and they were shown nothing but negativity, turned against each other, and ultimately some people just gave up. They just passed away because they gave up. Positive examples include a little boy who was not growing up in a very good home. He was not supported. He was not shown affection. He was just had a really rough life. And his life changed when one teacher told him that he mattered. So sometimes it's not always a big thing or multiple things that can happen that can change your life. It could just be one thing, one person that changes your life in a positive way. Rath also talks about his personal health problems, where he has a rare genetic disease that causes tumors within his whole body, even to the point to where he had one in his left eye that made him lose his eyesight. He talks about going through this as a child, as a teenager, even into his adulthood, how his friends marveled at his strength and how he always stayed positive and didn't let him get him down. He talked about how he never ever asked, why did this happen to me? He only ever focused on the good things, on the positive, things that he could do to make this okay, the things that he could control, such as going for checkups, staying on top of things, staying on top of the tumors that they caught early and were able to remove before they became bigger and even took his life. So he always focused on the good things and took care of himself instead of focusing on the negative side of that. He also talks about his family, how his family was always positive. They always believed in him, always made him go for more, always focused on the things he was doing well at, and never focused or harped on him for the things that he wasn't doing not so great in. He talks about how he remembers friends going to their homes, and the first thing that they would happen when they would walk in the door is that his friends' moms would be telling them negative comments, such as, why did you get this grade, or why have you not done this? Whereas in Tom's house, it would be different. It was positive, and he even states that he thought it was funny how his friends always wanted to be at his house. Some shortcomings. It was really hard to find some shortcomings. I believe the only shortcoming that I have a question about, or wish they would have gone more into, would be about how to overcome when positivity is not enough. We all have a situation that we're brought to, or people that we're around who it doesn't matter how much positivity that we provide, it isn't how much we fill their buckets, they always can find a way to negatively impact your life and take from your bucket. So I wish that they would have gone a little bit more into how to deal with this, and how to positively allow yourself to disengage from things like this in a positive way. The objective. So Rath and Clifton's objective was to prove that focusing on the positive things is necessary in life. As I read about how people don't feel appreciated at work, as I saw the statistics talking about how negative work environments can cause heart attacks and chronic high blood pressure, and how there's mental health problems and hopelessness, it was mind boggling and life changing for me. I thought about, you know, situations where I've been in where it was not great, and how that impacts my life, and how I thought, why am I working here? Or why why am I doing this? But I'm not going to leave, because then what if it's worse somewhere else? And we should never feel that way, ever. So as I read along in the book and saw these statistics and saw the studies they did, especially the study on the nuns, where they talked about how they had them write down positive and negative impacts in their life, and the nuns who had more positive impacts lived 10 years longer than the nuns who had more negative impacts. So it just made me want to be a better leader. It strengthened my desire to be a good leader, to really focus on my transformational leadership. I took a lot of notes. I wrote in the book. I put lots of tabs, because these are things I want to go back and reread and focus on, to make sure that I can better the lives of everyone that I encounter in my life. So who should read this book? Everyone. Everyone should read this book. I would recommend it to everyone probably age 16 and older. I don't think anyone younger than that is mature enough to understand the value of it yet, which is why he made kids' books. So maybe we should get those for our kids. But this book, everyone should read it. Teenagers are trying to find who they are. There's so much negativity in schools, bullying, not being accepted. Teenagers would benefit from this book. Young adults, they're trying to find their way in life. They're purchasing their new homes for the first time. They're managing finances for the first time. They are finishing up college and finding their new careers. And they're the new guy at work, if that's the case. So they should read this. We should read this, to help those new adults coming into their new career paths fill their buckets, be happy and positive at work. Later adulthood. So people my age. Usually by now we have found our way. We have homes, we have children, we have spouses, we have careers. However, not everyone is in that position, and there are people who are questioning the career path they took, or they're having marital problems, or they're having issues with kids as they grow into teenagers or get older. So this can really help with all the situations concerning the marriages. They talked about, or Rath and Clifton talked about in the book, about how they did a survey with some newlyweds where they watched them have a conversation for 15 minutes, made a hypothesis on who they thought would still be together and who would be divorced within 10 years based on the conversations they had as newlyweds. They were, I believe, 94% accurate in deciphering who would be divorced based on a 15-minute conversation 10 years prior because it was full of negativity. So again, marital problems, this book can help as well. Older adults. Older adults are retired and their main focus is to watch their children and grandkids grow up. They want them to be happy. So this book is great for them to remind and to lead the way for their kids and grandkids to lead with positivity, because grandparents are usually pretty respected and loved and listened to, especially by younger kids. So maybe if grandparents spread this word, they would help the younger ones as well. I know that this book was presented to me at a great time, not just as I grow as a leader, but just as I deal with my mom's passing a couple years back. It's been a battle for me, but I've been so lucky to have great support, and I am learning to fill buckets again and fill my own. And I've learned to set boundaries with some people that are not filling my buckets. So this. I think sometimes we don't realize that we need things like this. So maybe if we kept talking about this book, we could help others and not even realize it. Because we can all be the change that makes the world a better place. All right. Appreciate your time. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Thanks.